Hey everyone, welcome to Align Podcast. Here, our goal is to touch on real life experiences alongside biblical examples in an attempt to position ourselves in line with God's will for us. In other words, this is where we align ourselves with God. I'm Tunde Iduma, and on this episode, we'll be talking about your voice, how to use it, and the weight it carries. Follow me as we journey along in this series and discover it. And so it began. The year was 2007. The crowd were gathering. You could almost taste the rivalry in the air. The pressure was high. Bets, officially and unofficially, had been placed. Dust was rising as the referee blew the whistle for kickoff. Earlier in the tournament, our path had crossed. My team against the community favorite, the best team in town. We had come from three goals down and tied the game at 3-3 just before the game was abandoned due to crowd interference. This was the rematch the whole community craved for. It was the final of the 2007 Oba Palace Cup. This final game was one of pride. Win or lose, we had already given a good account of ourselves all through the tournament, but we needed this win. I personally needed this win. So when Zico struck that ball in the back of the net towards the end of the final game, it took me a second to react to the fact that we had just scored. We were on the verge of defeating the community favorites, the best team in town with all their star players, who were in front of a packed 50,000 capacity stadium. I'm kidding, I'm only kidding. It wasn't 50,000 capacity, but the noise decibel could rival that of 10,000 because of how it raged and the noise was so loud around our community. And then the final whistle blew. We had just defeated the best team in town, the best team for miles. It was crazy out there. We couldn't believe what had just happened. We ran around, we jumped, we hugged one another. I believe there must have been some tears of joy. We had just completed the impossible. And by doing this, we have put our names in the history books. We were the true definition of the underdog story. It was crazy out there that night. When I say I personally needed that win, when I say that I personally needed to win that tournament was because back then I believed that it was time for me to announce myself to my community, that I was something more than a pastor's kid. See, my father was and still is a respected pastor in that community, which traditionally means that anyone who knew him or knew me would call me a pastor's kid. I am, I've always been, and I still am proud of my dad and all that he has accomplished. But in addition to all his achievements and all that he has accomplished, I wanted to be seen as one of the kids in the community. I wanted to be relatable. I didn't want the box that I thought that he had placed me in, which in my head caused a barrier between myself and the kids in the community. Therefore, I needed to win so that I could have something to talk about with the people in the community. I needed to win so that I could have a conversation starter. I needed to win so that I could have that thing in common with the community. One of the things that I failed to realize back then was that as long as I could speak, I had the opportunity to connect with my community. Winning was great. As a matter of fact, my friends and I still talk about some of the games from that tournament. But as great as winning what that tournament was, it wasn't what I needed to connect with, to become relatable. It wasn't what I needed to connect with my community. While I was chasing a championship medal as my mic to communicate with my community, in reality, I already had all the necessary resources to step onto that stage. Everyone already knew who I was, and my stage was set. My mic was ready, it was hot, it was primed, it was ready to go, but I couldn't see it. In retrospect, I can see that it was never about connecting with my community. My reasons to be relatable, to be seen as one of their own, to be one of the kids in the community, as though it was a driving force for me to win that tournament, it was never about connecting with my community. A famous quote says that if you tell yourself a lie long enough, you will start to believe it. And I believed it. I believed that I was trying to be relatable. But if you ask me how many conversations leading to Christ did I ever start as a result of that win in 2007, Well, if you include this one, all I needed was my voice. Not a championship medal, not a different status. All I needed was my voice to be connected and to communicate with my community. Oftentimes, we find ourselves chasing one thing and then chasing the next and then on to the next. We stay chasing. While I don't intend to condemn anyone and your drive, have you ever paused to ask yourself, what is at the end of my chasing? And most importantly, does my chasing point anyone at all to God? Does it reflect God? Is my chasing godly? What I am driving towards, all that I am pursuing after, is any part of it reflecting God? Is any part of it pointing anyone at all to Christ? Paul says in his letter to the Philippians, he says, above all else, you must live in a way that brings honor and good news about Christ. You must live in a way that brings honor and good news about Christ. That's in Philippians 1:22. You have the most amazing instrument in yourself, the best there could ever be, unrivaled, and it is your voice. You can use it in ways that bring glory to God. At the very level you find yourself while you're chasing, at the very point that you currently are, where you are at this moment in life, you can use your voice, your words to change your world. It starts where you are, it starts with what you have right in this moment. The first step to using your voice is realizing that you have something to say. Therefore, refuse to be silenced. Refuse to be silenced. And this can come from your past or even your present. Let me let you know that things that silence are not things that elevate. I'll say that again. Things that silence are not things that elevate. So you can be sure that if there's anything at all that's silencing you or attempting to silence you, rest assured that it is also trying to limit you. It's also trying to hinder you from getting to that next level, to that height, to that elevated position that Christ actually wants you to be at. Silence is expensive. It costs a lot more to be silent than to speak up. And the next point is don't worry about fitting in. Don't worry about fitting in or being liked or being like them. As a matter of fact, Jesus said in John 15, verse 18, that if the world hates you, just remember that it hated me first. If it is true and brings glory to God, not opinionated, not selfish, if it is true, if it is honest, if it is of good report, if it's right, if it's holy, if it's friendly, if it's proper, best believe that you will not be liked and you won't fit in. And that's okay. It's okay because the next point is be the difference. Be the difference. In addition to words, let your actions show that you are all about that life that you speak. Be the difference. Don't be an extension or a continuation of the world that you are trying to impact. As a matter of fact, the more you are like them, the less difference that you are likely to make amongst them, the less impact you will actually make. Be the difference. As you're speaking differently, as you're talking differently, let your action also show it. Be the different one. Romans 12, verse 2 says that, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Let your life show that transformation by the renewing of your mind, that you may do what is acceptable, that you may prove what is acceptable, what is good, what is that perfect will of God. Be the difference. A famous quote says that be the change that you wish to see in the world. Help someone in need. Empower someone. Connect with someone. Teach someone something new. Teach someone something that you know that you're sure they don't know. Be the voice of someone without a voice. Help people. Go above and beyond. Be that difference that you wish to see in the world. See, your voice matters so much more right now, just as much as it will matter, if not more, when you attain or when you achieve those things that you're chasing. The only difference is that your not promised tomorrow. You're not promised that you would actually attain or achieve those things that you were chasing. As dark as that may seem or sound, it is the truth that you are not promised tomorrow. You're very sure of the now because you're here right now. Therefore, use your voice now. Don't drop the mic in hopes of a better mic. Use what you have right now to reach, to connect with as many people as you can. Your platform or your stage, as I may call it, was designed specifically for your present audience. Don't deprive them of what you have to say. Don't deprive them of the experiences that you've been through. Don't deprive them of that testimony, of those great things that you have seen all through your life. And when you are done, you'll have someone to hand over the mic to. See, as ground shattering as a mic drop is, what is more reverberating is having someone capable to hand over the mic to. Because it's a sign of legacy, it's a sign of continuation, it's a sign of footprints in the sand. Therefore, use your voice now. Well, thank you so much for listening to the live podcast. Be sure to take some time to listen to our other episodes and stay tuned for some exciting news as we have some resources in the works. You can access all our episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor, and simply by clicking the link in our show notes. Also, if you've enjoyed today's episode, please like and subscribe and share a live podcast. Join us next time as we continue to align ourselves with God. Thanks for listening. Cheers.